Okay, so I wanted to make this video because about maybe the beginning of this year, I was looking at my hair and I was wondering, why is my hair still at my shoulders? Because I've been battling with my hair for a really long time. Like, my hair has been probably, it's been fluctuating from about here to like right at shoulder length for the past 4 years. So I'm like, okay, why isn't my hair growing? I know my hair is growing, so why am I not seeing any growth? And the problem is that I wasn't taking care of my hair. So when my hair was growing, because I wasn't taking care of the ends, it was just breaking off. Like every time it would get about here, maybe about here was the longest, and it would just break off, and I would end up cutting it up to here. It would grow here again, and then I would have to cut it because it was breaking. So I'm going to give you guys some tips to help you not only grow your hair but maintain that length and keep it growing. Step 1, moisture. Keeping your hair moisturized is really important, especially if you have curly hair, because our hair is more prone to breakage and dryness. So if you're gonna wash your hair, first of all, when you wash your hair, especially if your shampoo has like sulfates in it, they make the bubbles. So if you're gonna use a shampoo with sulfates, make sure you focus like only on your scalp, because the ends of your hair, they're not only the oldest part of your hair, but they're going to be the driest. So with moisture, I'm more so talking about for your ends than your scalp, because when you're working the soap and the suds into your hair, if you're working that on your ends as well, all it's doing is taking out all the moisture that your ends really need. They're not getting the oils from your scalp that the hair closest to the root is getting. So yeah, like I said, focus on the scalp. Don't run the shampoo through your ends. Just when you rinse it straight down. And when the shampoo runs down, it's going to get out the dirt from your ends without stripping the oils. Also, always follow up your shampoo with the conditioner. And unlike the shampoo, you're going to focus your conditioner on your ends, because they need everything that they can get. So focus your conditioner on the ends. Get the ends completely covered and work your way up. That's going to keep your roots from getting weighed down from the conditioner, but yet again, it's going to give you the moisture that you need in your ends. I would say try to wash your hair at least once a week, but that's just my personal preference. But definitely use a deep conditioner. I would say probably at least twice a week, because our hair gets really dry, especially if you're using heat on your hair like I do. Yes, so make sure to deep condition. Step number 2 is try to cut back on your heat styling. I know for me it's really hard because I dance and I prefer to wear my hair straight, but you have to sacrifice sometimes, because heat, all it does is it takes the moisture out of your hair. And especially if you're not using a heat protectant, it's not good for your hair. So I would say probably once a week with a protectant is okay. But if you're pressing your hair or putting heat or blow drying your hair every day, it's not good. So try to minimize that. Also with heat styling, I would say minimize the number of passes you do per strand of hair. So say if I'm flat ironing this piece of hair, I'm not gonna press it, then press it again, then press it again. Just pass through it once. Try to focus on your trouble spots. For me, I have to get my my roots really well. So focus on your roots. Go down once to straighten, and one more time to bump, if that. Maybe you could just minimize it to 1. That would be good. And also with moisture, I'm more so talking about your ends. So I know I do, try to really focus on your ends when you think of moisture. Like, try to never let your ends, if you see little white balls on the ends of your hair, that means your ends are dry and you probably need a trim. So I just recently started using the Tresemme split end repair as like a moisturizer for my ends, and I must say it's been working really well. So what I do is I take the ends of my hair and I put the, what is it called, Tresemme split end moisture, something like that, but I put that on my ends at night, every night. And what I do, I put olive oil on top of that to seal the moisture in. So my ends have been doing really, really well. I have my hair in this little messy bun thing today, but my ends are doing really well. I haven't had to trim them in like a month. So, and that's only because I keep my ends moisturized. Like, I'm very adamant about taking care of my ends. If I see I need a trim, I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm going to take it off. Keep the ends that I do have, keep them taken care of, keep them moisturized, and you're going to see a lot of growth. So yeah, just make sure you moisturize and take care of your ends all the time. Here's one tip that I just recently started doing myself, and that's massaging my scalp every night. It gets kind of tedious at first, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I've honestly known about it for a long time, but I really just started doing it like 2 days ago. But I could see where the results could come in at. So what I do is I massage my scalp for like 3 to 5 minutes. I usually just like play a song or something, and I just massage my scalp for the whole song, and then after that I go in with my moisturize and seal little regimen. Yeah, that's for another video. Yeah, so I do that for like 3 to 5 minutes, and what it does is it brings blood to your scalp, and that's supposed to promote growth. So you can try it if you want. Tip number 4, trim your ends. I know it's hard for some of us, especially me, but if you ever get to the point where like you're curling your hair and you're trying to like bump it or do something to it and your hair will not take the curl, that probably means that it's time for a trim. So I do my trims myself, but that's because I really can't afford to go as often as I probably need to. So it's not that big of a deal. Just if you feel comfortable doing it, you can. If not, you should probably just try to make an appointment or something. But yes, if you do not trim your ends off, a lot of people don't understand why you have to trim your ends to see growth. But what happens is you get a split end, and if you don't trim it off, it's gonna split all the way up your hair shaft, and eventually it's just gonna break off. So that's what I mean by maintaining your length. If you keep the dead ends, your hair is never gonna grow longer because it's gonna keep continuing to split up the shaft, and you're gonna have to cut it even higher than you would have had to cut it in the first place if you would have just got a trim, because it's gonna be unhealthy and weak and dry, and you're not gonna want to deal with those dead ends. So it's easier to just get them while they're at the end of your hair. Go ahead and chop them off. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna grow back. Chop them off, and I promise you're gonna see much better results because your hair is gonna keep growing. It's not gonna be splitting up the shaft, and you won't have to keep going back to that same length. You're going to see growth. So yes, make sure to trim those ends. And the last tip is to try to keep a good diet. A lot of people don't know, but what you put into your body is what you're going to get out. So if you're putting in cheeseburgers and candy and soda, I mean, you're not going to get the same results as if you're putting in water and fruits and vegetables. So I know for me, I don't really eat the way I'm supposed to eat. So what I do is I take a multivitamin like every day. I haven't been taking them lately because I need to get a refill. But if you can't get in those nutrients, water, vegetables, all that good stuff, you should probably consider taking a vitamin. And that's just going to give you all those things that you're not getting from your diet. So, yes, make sure to drink a lot of water, eat a lot of fruits. Try to eat 3 times a day at least. I know I don't, but like I said, I'm taking my vitamins. Yes, and you're going to see a much better results from not only your hair, but your skin, your nails. Everything's going to show those positive effects of eating well. Those have been my tips for today, guys. If you have any questions, of course, you guys can always talk to me. Leave me little comments below, and I will make sure to respond. Love and Luxe.